What's up, everyone? Criddle here, and I'm going to go over the first three characters that you can choose from. I've got a lot of questions from people that are like, hey, which character should I start with? That kind of thing. And I just want to go over each one of them to see what's best for you, because the answer to which one you should start with, honestly, is going to be, it depends on your play style. And I know everybody hates that answer, but it really does depend on your play style. I personally started with Ajax. Ajax is your tank type character. He's got two different shields here that you can see, and then he has two different like melee type abilities. This one allows you to jump in and do like this AoE melee thing when you hit the ground, and this one is like a big AoE melee burst kind of thing. And then you have the two shields, a frontal shield and like a dome shield. And then he's got a passive ability that allows him to gain void energy. So whenever he uses one of these abilities, he gains void energy, and it makes the third or the fourth use stronger. So you use three different abilities, and on the fourth one, it's stronger. So my overview, I would say, of Ajax is it's a fun character to play. It's very easy to play. It's probably, in my opinion, the easiest of the three starter characters. And you just kind of stand there and shoot stuff. If you like to do the spray and pray, maybe you like shotguns, that kind of thing, I would definitely go for this character. I will say that you will have some struggles when you get to a certain boss. I don't want to say what that boss is, but there is a certain boss where Ajax becomes probably the weakest character in the game for that boss, and it makes that boss extremely difficult, which is already very hard to do. A lot of people are struggling on that boss, so if you don't want to have too much of an issue, then Ajax is probably not going to be your starter character. However, you can beat that boss solo with Ajax. You could also beat that boss in a party with Ajax. You just have to make sure you build up your character to do that. Next up, we have Bunny. I'm going to explain Bunny here in just a second. We're going to go over that because it's kind of the fourth character you kind of start with. Lepic is another character that you can start with. This is a DPS character. It does a lot of fire damage, and it's got these amazing grenade abilities. So what this character actually does, it allows you to throw in these grenades, and it sucks everything in. And then you can throw like an actual grenade on it and blow things up. You can pull out your ultimate weapon, and it does like a singularity thing where it just constantly does damage to everything in an area. So you could throw in the singularity grenade and it sucks everything in, and then you could throw down one of these little singularity things. He's a very strong DPS character. I love having this character in my party. As you can see, I don't currently own this character because I didn't start with him, but I do absolutely love this character, and he's very strong. His passive ability lets him, when he dies or doesn't die, he is going to die, he instead becomes immune and then heals some of his health. So it's very nice for a DPS kind of glass cannon type character that is going to lose health very quickly. But I think he's a very good DPS / support character. The best part about it, I think, is honestly these traction grenades, and it sucks everything in and then allows everybody else in your team to just blow everything up via rocket launchers, grenades, your abilities, penetrating sniper rifles, whatever you may have, and you can just absolutely unload on a bunch of stuff. The final character you can start with is Viessa. This is probably the least played character that I've seen. Again, I don't own this one because I started with Ajax, but I don't see this character a lot. But this character is an ice-based character that does a lot of debuffs. So her whole thing is going to be to debuff the characters and slow them down, shackle them, as you can see here. Or maybe even freeze them completely. And this character is very nice if you want to have that more support role. And then the particular boss that I was talking about with Ajax that becomes very difficult with Ajax to defeat, this character makes that boss a lot easier. I wouldn't say it's the best character for that boss. Again, don't want to give spoilers, but this character does make that boss easier. So you might be able to get to that boss with this character and just jump right past it. I know people that have sat on that boss for like 24, 48 hours trying that boss over and over for hours and hours, and they still can't get it. So I would say that if you want to have a support type character, you're going to be debuffing and allowing your team to do a lot more of the damage to them. This is the character to go with. So that goes over the three main starting characters. Now there is a fourth character, and that's Bunny. The reason I'm throwing this in there is because you do unlock this character very early in the game. It automatically will give you a quest, a side quest to do this. I would recommend doing it and getting the bunny character. I did level her up to 40. She is very, very strong. She's electric based, so you'll have, what is it, tank based character, you have a fire based, you have ice based, and then you have this electric character. Bunny is a little bit weird for my play style, but it took me a few minutes to fully understand how she works. But basically she has this thrill bomb. She can throw it up and it essentially goes straight to an enemy and it shocks them, does some damage. She has this ability, light speed, where she just runs super fast. So if you're sprinting, she sprints even faster. It's a very, very fast ability, but it drains your mana very quickly. This ability is a emission of light around you. So the radius, however big it is, you can kind of see on the screen there. It does lightning damage to everything within that radius as pulses, but it's based on how far you move. So every time you move so many meters, it then does one pulse. If you just stand still, it won't do a pulse. This is maximum power ability, and she basically makes this beam of light that she shoots out of her hand. It does a lot of damage very quickly, but it drains all of your electricity that you have built up. And then her passive is the building up of that electricity, and then her double jump thing. So she can double jump whenever she double jumps and lands. She does do an electricity in the area that doesn't cost any mana, so it's kind of like free damage. But then she builds up her energy, as you can see here, where it says proportional to the distance traveled, which really highlights her two main abilities, which are these two right here. So what you want to do is you have full mana, you want to use light speed and start running around super fast. The faster she runs, the more often she will proc that this ability from the lightning emission. So it's just kind of going off like every second. If you are not running super fast and you're just kind of normal sprinting speed, it still goes off, but it's like every 2 seconds. So it's a little bit slower, but you can build this thing up to be a ton of damage. The thing that I don't like about Bunny, though, is that she's all based on her abilities, really. So you're just going to be running around killing most things with her abilities. You're not going to do a lot of the gunplay and that kind of stuff. You still want to have a weapon for, bosses, things like that, but she literally is just going to put this out and then run around in a circle, and then put this out again and then run around in a circle, and just keep cycling between these two. And that's how she is played. Very fun character. So you will unlock this one. So that's why I personally say I would go with Ajax, or maybe even Viesa as your start character, because you're going to get a high DPS character through Bunny anyway. It's going to be able to take out a lot of stuff. However, Lepic does have his place, like I said, with the traction grenades. It is insanely good for group play, and this game is centered around group play. You're going to want to have a diverse team. I would say having a tank and then 3 DPS or maybe 2 DPS and a healer type character, which you can't unlock until later, so don't worry about that, are going to be best for end game content. But in the beginning, you want to have somebody that's just going to be able to help eliminate the enemies as quickly as possible, and those are going to be Bunny and Lepic. So anyway, that is my thoughts on the main 3 characters that you can start with. Hopefully it helps you out in choosing what you want to start with. And if it does, please like, subscribe, follow, all that kind of stuff. Or come on over to the Twitch channel, say hello, and I will talk to you more about how this game is played. And maybe we can even play some games together. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye!